Welcome to my holistic kitchen where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern holistic nutrition. My name is Preeti Sayal and I will be your instructor for this online course, Strengthen Immunity by Improving Digestion. I have a master's in foods and nutrition. I am a registered holistic nutritionist and a certified Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant. This course is specifically designed to educate you on the importance of healthy digestion in building a strong immune system. It will cover up natural ways to stay strong against infections like COVID-19. You will learn how a healthy diet and lifestyle as per your unique constitution can keep your digestion strong and power up your immune system. In this course, I will be taking you through digestion and immunity through the lenses of Ayurveda and holistic nutrition. Ayurveda is a path of self-healing. It guides you towards understanding what's right for you. It enables you to live in sync with your true self and how you relate to this universe. As per Ayurveda, we all come into this world with certain tendencies, which are a result of combination of various doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Now, if you are new to Ayurveda, I would highly recommend that you take up my foundational course on health and wellness with Ayurveda, which explains very clearly the basic principles of Ayurveda and how to use it in our daily life in terms of diet and lifestyle for better health. I'm sure you must have heard you are what you eat, right? But Ayurveda believes you are not just what you eat, but what you digest. When you eat good food and digest it well, you build good blood. And that blood nourishes each and every cell of your body. Now, digestive enzymes are needed to break down food into nutrients that can be absorbed and utilized by the body. Digestion isn't easy. In fact, it's an energy-consuming process. Now, ancient Ayurvedic practitioners were so mindful of digestion that they worshipped the god of digestion and they called it Agni. They knew the importance of digestion and they approached it with a lot of care. I feel sorry to say that our digestive systems are so badly abused by now that most of us have an underactive stomach. So let's begin our journey towards healing our digestion and in turn building a strong immune system. This online course has 6 parts. Part 1 is kind of an introduction to the concept of digestion. In lecture 1, I talk about why I chose to take up digestion as the topic of this course and why it is so important in preventing disease in the very first place. In fact, the concept of digestion, which is known as Agni in Sanskrit, is absolutely essential to Ayurvedic tradition. In this online course, you will get a deeper understanding of Agni and practical tools in keeping your Agni balanced, or in other words, your digestion strong. In lecture 2, I will talk about what is wrong in today's world. Why is everyone falling sick so easily? What is happening to our immunity? And why do people have so many digestive problems? Part 2 is all about our digestive system through the lens of a holistic nutritionist. This part has 4 lectures. In lecture 1, I explain the anatomy and physiology of the digestive system so that you get an idea of how each organ of our digestive system is so very important in the whole process of digestion. Malfunctioning of even one single organ of our digestive system could not only lead to nutritional deficiencies but could lead to disease anywhere in the body. In lecture 2, I talk about the importance of chewing and how with just this one simple act, we could prevent the onset of so many digestive discomforts. In lecture 3, I discuss something that could be an eye-opener for many of you. I talk about the role of our stomach and how it is absolutely essential that this organ functions optimally, otherwise, this could be the beginning of disease. In lecture 4, I bring to you some clear signs and symptoms of an underactive stomach. In part 3, I put my Ayurvedic hat and talk all about digestion through an Ayurvedic lens. Now, the concept of Agni, the Sanskrit word for fire, is absolutely essential to an Ayurvedic practitioner. In fact, they say that Agni is the very source of life, and that a person is as strong as his Agni. They even say when Agni extinguishes, we die. Ancient Ayurvedic sages knew this very well, the importance of Agni, and they approached it with a lot of care. This part is divided into 5 lectures. In lecture 1, I give you an introduction to the concept of Agni as in Ayurveda. In lecture 2, I talk about the 4 types of Agni and give you signs and symptoms of balanced Agni, that is called Sama Agni in Sanskrit. This is when your digestion is functioning optimally. In lecture 3, I talk about Visham Agni or erratic and irregular digestion. Lecture 4 is all about Tikshna Agni or hypermetabolism or fast digestion. In lecture 5, it is all about Mand Agni or hypometabolism or slow and sluggish digestion. Lecture 3, 4 and 5 are the 3 types of imbalances in our Agni. So in these 3 lectures, I talk about the signs and symptoms of these kinds of Agnis and how to identify which Agni you have at the moment, and how to bring it back to balance and make it Sama Agni or balanced digestion. Part 4 is all about practical ways of keeping our digestion strong. This part has got 3 lectures. Now, we all know that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It is easier to stop something from happening in the very first place rather than trying to repair the damage after it has happened, isn't it? So if we learn to recognize how our food choices could seriously create imbalances in our doshas and how these imbalances could upset our digestive fire, that is Agni, which could be the onset of disease, we could save ourselves from so many of our future problems. Now, every time we eat something, that food has to go through a digestive process, and this process has got stages. As per Ayurveda, there is a Kapha stage, a Pitta stage, and a Vata stage. So in lecture 1, I talk about these stages of digestion. In fact, we get different signs and symptoms at different stages of the digestive process. So in this part, I talk about how if we notice a pattern of symptoms after our meal times, it could really be helpful in giving us clues for correcting our digestive issues. In lecture 2, I talk about practical ways of balancing our Agni. And in lecture 3, I talk about a commonly misunderstood topic of Ayurvedic food combining. Here I try to clear some of the myths and give you reasons behind those strict rules. By now, we would know that if we keep our digestion strong, we will build a good immune system. But still, in this part, I summarize various ways of boosting immunity the Ayurvedic way. And finally, in part 6, I share with you some of my favorite Ayurvedic recipes for improving digestion and building a strong immune system. In each recipe, I talk about the health benefits and the energetics of the ingredients used and how it could impact your doshas. Recipe 1 is a tri-doshic tea recipe balancing for all 3 doshas. Recipe 2 is a tea recipe for balancing Vata dosha. Anytime you feel anxious, worried or fearful, try holding this warm cup of tea in your hands and feel the warmth saturating the deepest level of your soul, and you will see you can bring Vata back into balance. Recipe 3 is a pitta pacifying tea recipe which is cooling and soothing to the fiery pitta energy. Recipe 4 is a stimulating and spicy kapha balancing tea. It is a spiced ginger tea that aids in digestion and cleanses the body as well. Recipe 5 is a recipe for an after lunch yogurt drink called lassi. Some people feel that yogurt with meals is against Ayurvedic food combining rules. On the contrary, once yogurt is transformed into lassi, it actually aids in digestion. And finally, recipe 6 is our all-time favorite, our Tri-Doshik Khichdi recipe, which is Ayurvedic number 1 recommendation for a digestive reset. It is my humble wish to make Ayurveda easy and interesting for each one of you. And it is my desire to make this great ancient wisdom reach each and every household on this planet. I want each one of you to become your own healer. So come with me on this beautiful path of knowing our true self and creating health and wellness in all aspects of our life. Namaste.